No trash in the culvert. Make sure I will know this is a very fast. Oh, thank you. That was good. Now, he's not quite done. He did a wonderful job so far. A wonderful job. And at this point, he's going to teach you something about what he learned from the Torah portion. I'm ready. Are you ready? He's ready.
Many of you are already familiar with the Tower of Babel story.
Are you ready? Did you hear what he said? He's trying to teach you something. Shh. I told you, no candy now. Go.
Many of you are already familiar with the Tower of Babel story that I read today in the Torah. Some people think that God was not happy that people were trying to build something too high, and that was why God confused their speech. I see it in a different way. The group of people did focus on building a big tower. The part that seems important to me is that the people only used a very small area of the whole world that God had created for them to explore. The story said specifically that God came down to see their tower. It didn't matter how big they made it, God was still higher. That is why I don't think that God was angry about how tall the building was. As soon as God came and saw the people all working together on that one tower, God spread the people across the face of the earth to different regions and areas. When they got spread out, the people also spoke different languages. I think God spread them out because God gave people a lot of land for them to explore and use, but the people were focusing on this one little spot. They were trying to reach God by building the tower when God is actually everywhere you need all along. God built this land for all of us, so go explore it. Go experience new things and find new places. I love exploring new places. I always love to be outside, appreciating the world. That is why I really appreciated this story. Some people see it as a punishment, but I see it as encouragement to explore. Experiencing the world isn't only about seeing what's outdoors. Pushing yourself to do things that you weren't sure you could do is another way to explore. There were many times I wasn't sure that I could lead a worship service. Just like after the tower, I was feeling confused about the new language I had to learn. But the people in the Torah eventually found their place with other people who spoke the same language. I am glad that I found my place here too. I'm so glad that you found your way to come join me today. Thank you especially to everyone who came from out of town and made a special effort to be here. I'm glad to see so many of my friends here. It means a lot to me that you shared this celebration with me. Rabbi, thank you so much for understanding me and helping me with all your patience and everything. It means a lot. Shout out to my cousins in Houston on R2D2 up there, and my friends in Israel that are watching live. Aunt Sue and Uncle Bart. I'm sorry that I don't get to see you as much as I would like to. I'm very glad that you are here with me today. I appreciate you bringing Hanukkah presents to me and my sisters every year. Uncle Joe. I really enjoy getting to go out to eat with you and spend time with you and your dogs. I can talk to you for hours at a time and never get tired. Uncle Breck and Aunt Anna. I spend so much time with you that I can't even imagine you not being here. I love y'all. Aunt Mackie and Uncle JC. I'm so glad that you came up from New Orleans. I hope you enjoy my room this weekend. Nana, I really appreciate that you have been to every one of our grandparent days and every book fair. And I don't think that I can count all of the Hanukkah presents you have wrapped for us all my life. I'm so glad that you're here to share this with me today. Avery. I don't think I will ever have enough energy to keep up with you. But when I do catch up with you, I know you will always have something important to tell me. I hope if someday you ever need to hear somebody else's opinion, you know you can always come to me. Arden. You know how much I love playing soccer, but I really love watching you play soccer. Whether it's about soccer or anything else, you always do take the time to listen to what I say. But you'll know you do what you want anyway. You're an awesome, independent person, but if you ever need anything, please know that I'm always here for you. Mom. You do so much for me that I don't even know how to explain how much I appreciate you. You are a great cook. You are like my chauffeur after school, and you always get me to where I need to go on time. You help a lot with schoolwork. You always make sure I have the stuff I need when I need it. This service will never end if I keep listing everything I want to about you. But I do want to say that whenever I felt nervous about doing this service or in doubt about doing it at all, you were the one who made me believe that I could do it. Dad. You are not just my coach on the soccer field. You are my life coach. You are always there for me, every step of the way. I know you are there. We go on lots of cool trips together. I enjoy when the girls leave and it's just me and you. I know that you didn't get to do a bar mitzvah service, and you kept telling me that I would regret not doing one. I finally understand what you meant. Love you, baby.
Well, that is, turn off my mic so you don't laugh. Good job, man. Before we let people talk to you, we're going to put the Torah away. So I invite you to please turn to page 146. Grab your book, sir. 146. And I need to call up Joe and Sue, please, to come help us open the ark. Uncle Joe and Sue. Everyone else, please rise as the ark is open. Yehalelu et Shem Adonai ki nisgav shemo levado. Let us praise the eternal God, whose name alone is exalted. Reviving the soul. God's precepts are right, delighting the mind. God's doctrine is pure, enduring forever. Behold, a good doctrine has been given you, our Torah. Do not forsake it. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast, and all who cling to it find happiness. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. When the ark is closed, you may be seated. Right, you're kind of finished, but you're kind of not finished. Now people get to tell you things. You had your chance, now look who's up here.
This is going to be bad. We didn't get to see the portion that he wrote for us. That was in confidence from...
So I can hear some people today.
I think you can hear my big voice. I don't think I need this. But I didn't know what he wrote about me. He wouldn't say, Rabbi wouldn't let him say. So it's all confidence. He did this on his own. So I threatened him and I said, I have something to read about you. So I'd just like to say a few things right here. No, really, the honest truth is, Garrett is my favorite son. And, if you indulge me, I want to brag about him for a few minutes. And I wrote some things, but I'm not going to read them verbatim, but I just want to tell you a little about his personality. one day this summer I was leaving for work. Everybody was still asleep in the house. The house is dark. Nothing going on. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to get out of here. Everybody's quietly asleep. I'm going to escape. I'm pulling out of the driveway, and I look up, and Garrett is halfway through mowing the front yard. And he just waves at me. I leave. But that's his work ethic. And another example of that, same summer, most of you know where we live. We live on the backside of Spring Lake on near Crestwell, which runs along Bayou Pierre. And the city does not know that so good. Really, actually, they don't know it at all. And it looks atrocious during the summer. And we talk about it when we drive by the high grass and everything. It just looks awful. And one day I'm coming home from work and I see, now this isn't a small piece. This is about a quarter mile. And I see somebody down there mowing this whole thing. And as I get closer, I realize it's him. And he's drug our mower, our weed eater, our blower.
All in a wheelbarrow.
All in a wheelbarrow. And I pull up next to him and I say, son, what are you doing? And I quote, he said, I got tired of looking at this. But I mean, that pretty much sums Garrett up. There's a lot of us that complain about things and never do anything. And he is a young man of action. I mean, he will roll up his sleeves and do stuff, and I'm very proud of him.
I like to do
For
that.
that. You know, I like you to. That's coming later. There's still more stuff. But I'm really proud of him. He's a Boy Scout. Not only a Boy Scout, he's a Life Scout working on this Eagle project. He's been senior patrol leader twice, which I'm very proud of, in the largest patrol in the district of 9 parishes. He always helps the younger boys in the troop without being asked. And on occasion, when older boys, older than him, have gone, let's say, astray, he has stepped up and had words with them and straightened them out. And for anybody to do that, it's tough. But to have somebody, have a 12-year-old do that, that speaks volumes, I think. So, and I think all the boys in the troop respect him for that, and I respect him a lot for that. He loves playing soccer. He's excellent at it. He and his best buddy, Grant, they're the dynamic duos out there on the soccer field. They've played together forever. He's a competitive swimmer. I'm going to brag for a minute. I'm sorry. He's a competitive swimmer. The last 5 years, last 3 years, he's placed 5th in the city backstroke. Academically, he's a 3.9. Let me tell you, the only time I got close to a 3.9 was the first day of school. So he got this from his mom. He's in magnet program and gifted program at URI. I mean, it's just incredible what he's accomplished. He's got invited to the Duke's Tips program. He's taken an ACT in December. He just got invited to the National Leadership Conference in Washington, D.C. this summer. Surprise. You didn't know that. But you're going. But with that being said, I think there's an old African proverb which we've all heard 100 times, but it takes a village to raise a child. And that is no more true than in today's world that we're in. And Amy and I, wish we could take all the credit for the great young man that he is, but there's a lot of friends and a lot of relatives that have played a huge part in his upbringing, his personality, and just his I don't know, he's just a great kid. 2 people I gotta single out, obviously. One that hasn't known him all his life, but I think has been a tremendous influence, is Joe Corby, who's Scoutmaster of Troop 14. Joe, you've set an incredible example for not just Garrett, but all the boys in the troop. And the work you do is incredible, and the hours you put in, so thank you very much. And John, Rabbi, she's a huge influence. I can talk about her forever. She's patient with the students and the parents too. We're incredibly blessed to have her as our rabbi. She's thoughtful, patient, even-tempered, and Lord, I know I've tested that a lot. You're just great. You're there for our ups and downs, and we're blessed to have you. But last but not least, just to Garrett, I just want to say you're loving, you're affectionate, you're kind, you're just a good young man, and your mom and I are very proud to have you as our son. even though you haven't been tested yet. And, I know what you've done. I'm proud of what you've done with your life so far, and we look forward to seeing what you have in the future, what the future holds for you. I know it'll be great things, so we love you very much. Congratulations.
I look to the
We'll leave this here.
We now call, is Joe Bat still around? You want to come up with veterans? Is that you?
That's got a lot of paper.
Well, you're all 12 years old. You got all the stuff you've accumulated in your life.
That was the Garrett timeline.
That's the Garrett timeline. You've got this.
Probably.
Yeah, you did.
Well, let's see what we've got. Usually I don't need the mic, I've got a nice enough voice. What an accomplishment, Garrett. Congratulations, Mazel Tov. And as David said, this is going to be one of many accomplishments that Garrett has. Working on the Eagle is phenomenal, and it shows the integrity of the young man. It's tradition. We have the prayer book, which has always said binds you to the community, binds you to this day. As you said, R2D2 up there, you've got friends in Israel. You're going to travel far and wide in life, but just remember this is always home, and this prayer book brings you back here. So here it is. Come here, man.
Thanks. And from our sisterhood, Bethany Sorky.
Congratulations on a job really well done. I really thank you for your insights about your Torah portion. I really enjoyed listening to what you had to say. I had it in mind to say a few things about his excellent character and his many accomplishments, but that has been taken care of. I do want to mention that he has been a counselor at our day camp here at B'nai Zion and has done a wonderful job with that. This is a Kiddush cup. It's my pleasure to present it to you on behalf of the sisterhood, also to help you remember this day and to help you welcome Shabbat in your home as an adult.
Thank you.
Mazel tov.
Thank you.
I need to tell you that this weekend I'm also doing a wedding, not his obviously, but but many kids still have their Kiddush cup that they got for their bar mitzvah, and they use that for their wedding as well. When we say that you're going to treasure this and you'll remember this forever, it's serious. We need to now call upon the president of our congregation, Dr. Donald Posner. He has another presentation for you.
Garrett, congratulations. It's indeed an honor to present you with your bar mitzvah certificate. And it says that Garrett Reyes was called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah today in the presence of our congregation. In becoming a bar mitzvah, Garrett has accepted the privileges and responsibilities of being a Jew. Lifelong Torah study and the keeping of mitzvah, Shabbat, holy day, and life cycle observances, participating in the life of the synagogue, the Jewish community in Israel, dedication to Tekim Olam, the perfection of our world. So congratulations. As I like to say, this is, I know you think it's the end of the evening, but it's really just the beginning of your Jewish study. You've done a lot, you've prepared well. As we know, this is really just the beginning of your life in Judaism. You're now able to lead our services, and you're going to do well. And you have done well, and congratulations.
Do you want to let him sit down and you can tell us what's going on in our world this week?
Okay.
It's up here.
Absolutely. Thank you. I want to thank everybody who participated. Welcome to our congregation, and for this special evening. Shabbat Shalom, y'all. Mazel Tov to Garrett and his family for his becoming a bar mitzvah. We hope you stay and celebrate with David and Amy as they will have a special Onyx Shabbat, a little celebration in Garrett's honor in the Lefkowitz Hall down the hall there after services. This Sunday, Jewish War veterans will meet from 10:30 to about 11:30 in the parlor. You're welcome to attend the meeting if you're a veteran or interested in learning what our new chapter will be doing. They will be planning a Veterans Day event. Remember to bring your animals for the blessing of the animals this Sunday, October the 26th at 11:30. Beginning Monday this week, we will be repaving the back parking lot. So please park in the building from the front. This project should take about a week, depending on the weather. Next week, the rabbi will be out of town. Elaine Browning will be scheduled to lead services and Torah study next Friday night and Saturday morning. On November the 7th, we will be celebrating and honoring people with birthdays and anniversaries in November. Once again, come back Saturday, November the 8th, Taylor Rosen, who's up here, will help lead services and be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah. Maury and Lane, or the parents, will hope you will join them and their family at a Kiddush luncheon following the services. Donations were made to B'nai Zion for the pulpit flowers in loving memory of Albert Katzenstein, Marcia Katzenstein, and in fact Matsy and family, in memory of Leonard Phillips by Sandy and Jeffrey Kallenberg and Fred Phillips. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Garrett, you're kind of sort of almost done, but I have something I have to say to you. Actually, I have some cool things to say. Ha! Found you. You went before. You think you need the helmet again? Oh, good. The yarmulke, good. I was worried about that. I was hiding. But if you wear it, I can't see you. Where'd you go? That's really sneaky to have camouflage yarmulke so that you can't see anybody inside. It's just like, I think he did that because he was nervous, so this way the whole congregation just disappeared, right? Kind of, yeah. I wanted to, you remember? I want you to look at these people. I want you to see all these people who came because they love you. It's a cool thing, isn't it? To this day, there are people that I remember exactly where they were standing, where they were sitting when I was bar mitzvah. I remember them. I remember all of the people, all the faces, and they're all here for you. And that's an awesome thing. Because you are a really wonderful guy. I have never met anybody who doesn't not just like you, but look up to you. And the taller you're getting, the more we have to look up to you. But you see here, for example, Nana, she's here just about every Shabbat. And it's an awesome thing. It's role models. And Dad, he's never not at the building because he's either coaching the soccer or he was president of the federation and we could put him on the board. You know, it's all the things. I mean, you have a family that keeps you on your toes. It's not just it's a role model family that I think is a wonderful thing. Look out at the people. Now I've got a lesson that I wanted to teach you. Because your Torah portion is not just about building the tower. I love the insight that you came up with about exploring the world. But the beginning of the Torah portion was about Noah, so I'm going to give you some lessons that you can learn about Noah and the ark. Like, plan ahead, which you're a Boy Scout, you know about this, but plan ahead because it wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. And stay fit. When you're 600 years old, someone might ask you to do something really big. And I got a bunch, but I'm only going to share a few. Don't forget that we're all in the same boat together. Remember, it was a joke. That was a joke. Remember that the Ark was built by amateurs and the Titanic was built by professionals. Don't miss the boat. And no matter how bleak it looks, there's always a rainbow on the other side. This Torah portion has to do with rainbows also. It has to do with spreading out. It has to do with finding your place in the world. And I have no doubt that you're going to find a place in the world, and we all can't wait to see what it is that you do. We are about to turn to page 148 and begin our concluding part of our service. I'm going to invite Garrett to come in front of the ark, and I'm going to give him a private blessing for a moment. But since the ark is going to be open, I'm going to need you to rise and then we will continue on page 148. So please rise. On page 148, we're going to open the ark. May God bless you. May God protect you. May the light of God's face shine upon you, be gracious to you. May God's face always be lifted up to you. May God grant you peace. Come here. We continue on page 148 with the Aleinu.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו חורים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
And in the middle of 149 we continue. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. When the ark is closed, you may be seated. We continue on page 150. You're done. You get to sit down. Now you're done. I am grateful to be able to report to you that we are blessed. Normally at this point in our service is when I take a moment and I let you know that we had American casualties during the week, but I am grateful and blessed to tell you that we once again had no American casualties serving in our military this year. I was thankful for that, because his daddy's in the military. We continue on page 151. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, let us meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We continue on page 153. In nature's ebb and flow, your eternal law abides. As you are our support in the struggles of life, so also are you our hope in death. In your care, O God, are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. Your power gives us strength. Your love comforts us. O life of our life, soul of our soul, cause your light to shine into our hearts. Fill us with trust in you and turn us again to the tasks of life. And may the memory of our loved ones inspire us to continue their work for the coming of your sovereign rule. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. We now recall the loved ones whom death has taken from us this past month. We remember Larry Shore. And we remember those who have lost parents this year. We remember Deborah Richardson and Esther Nash Broadnax. And as we remember those who died at the seasons past, in years past, we take them into our hearts with our own. Those for whom we're observing Yortzeit this week include Louis Abramson Jr., Nanette Smith Barron, Edward H. Blumberg, Jules Loeb Fogel Jr., Phoebe Fry, Sally Goodman, Jacob Hayes, Leo Holland, Albert Katzenstein, Sophie Laudenheimer, Flora Loeb, Sanford Morris, Israel Maurerman, Leonard Phillips, Stan Shaw, Jake Vedlitz, Israel Weinstein, Morton Winkler, and Sally Zell. Has anyone else lost someone in this past month? Or a parent this past year? Or is observing yahrzeit this week? In this moment of memory, our griefs and sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we rise as together we praise your name. The Mourner's Kaddish, we praise God, is on page 154. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, ve'alma difrach yutei, ve'amlich malchutei, ve'chaychon ve'yomechon, ve'kayed chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv ve'yimaru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach la'olam la'amei almaya. Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ah, v'yitroman, v'yitnaseh, yitadar, yitaleh, yitalal, shmei v'kusha, v'richu. Le'elam nitkol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma, v'imru amen. Yehei shalom ha'rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'boromav, uyaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. You may be seated. I need Garrett's sisters and young cousins to come back up again, please. You want to help them? You don't have to anymore. Ha! Hold on to the bottom. And get ready, because in order for us to eat any of the food there, you have to say the blessing for us. Are you ready to say the blessing? Are you ready? I'll turn on the microphone for you. Ready? Go. Motzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together, as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, motzi lechem min haaretz, te'avon. All right, grab some. I got the plate. There's more that haven't been touched by little girls and cousins out there for grown-ups. Eat. You can eat and share if you want. Please rise for the closing benediction. I pray that when we get together, it's always for simchas, for joyous occasions like this, making us proud. I told him he could lead the services for us next week, and he said, well, maybe not next week. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you, may God protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, may the light of God's face shine upon you, be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may God's face be lifted up to you, may God grant you peace. And say with me, please, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'echianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. We are very grateful that God gave us life, that God kept us alive so we could be here for this special occasion. Shabbat Shalom.
Good Shabbos.
Tickle to these breath. had one. I think it's in your house somewhere. It's all mine.
That's what I do.
Oh, thank you so much.
We enjoyed it so much. You know, when we were kids, my sister was sitting by me.